voting one. Well, actually,
PR Connections Radio presents.
I guess you can be very successful without one, and probably some people do. But I would not have accomplished anywhere near what I have accomplished without a mentor. I have had a number of mentors, and my whole life has changed dramatically. I went from going nowhere to having a business that operates all over the world. If you want to win in a big way, you want to get a mentor. It's almost like getting a direct pipeline from their mind to your mind, where you're gaining all their wisdom, all their experience, and all the studying that they've done over a number of years. And like that, you get it all in a short period of time. Are mentors important? Well, I'm going to tell you, mentors literally changed the course of my life. Let's take a look at what thinking into results is and what it could do for you, how it came about. You see, my life had changed dramatically. I went from earning nothing to earning over $1 million a year. And I was sitting one day and I was thinking, how did all this happen? Do you know, I was reading Think and Grow Rich. I was studying Earl Nightingale's material. But a lot of people have read those books and studied Earl's material. And they weren't accomplishing what I was accomplishing. So I had to ask myself, what am I doing so different? You see, I had been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you've got to be really smart. I was earning over $1 million a year, and I didn't think I was that bright. I was also raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't win. Well, I hadn't gone to school. I went to high school for about 2 months. I didn't have a good job. I owned the entire company. If you want to be happy, healthy, and prosperous, it's all here. Thinking into results is going to show you how to get it. If what I've said really triggered something in your mind and you're thinking maybe, contact the certified PGI consultant. Hit the button, leave the information. Do yourself a favor. Sit down and talk to them about what this program can do for you. This very well could be the decision that will change the rest of your life.
usually it shows me.
Oh, well, now it shows me. I'll go out.
There we go. Thank you, Bob. Bob is he's the master. He's been studying personal growth and success for over 50 years. And the foundation was the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I think I have it over here. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, published in 1937. It sold over 100 million copies around the world in multiple languages, and has created probably more millionaires than any other book out there. And today, we're going to talk about the secret genie. And the secret genie is what we call the stick person. And we're going to teach you about the relationship of the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, their interaction, and the effect it has on your body, on the actions you take and the results that you get. And today I want to say my favorite guest, best friend, John Gage. John's a trained voice actor. And here he is again. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Sid. It's good to be here.
You're looking good today.
Well, yeah, I'm feeling good, even though that little bump that I had, they cut it out on Monday. So at least I can talk. So, and it doesn't hurt, at least at the moment. So, but I feel pretty good otherwise.
Good. I want to make a couple of comments before we get into this. And it has to do with, I would say, executing your plan. You got a goal, you got a plan, and things don't go as you planned, and you set it aside. Well, we're going to teach you why that's happening and how to keep going, how to give another look another perspective. Anything that doesn't turn out as you plan, you don't give up. Get another perspective, get some help. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help. So, John, I'm going to put a little slide. Actually, before I put it up there, do you have a couple of comments? And we'll show them what the stick person, the magic genie looks like.
Well, because one of the things that Bob always talked about was how we see things. We see things in pictures. So if I was to ask you, what does your refrigerator in your kitchen look like? You're going to go to a picture in your head. You're going to describe that it's silver and black. I've got a freezer on top, a refrigerator on the bottom. The doors are silver. The handles are black, and it's black around. It's got a built-in ice maker. So,
John, you're supposed to ask. I've been practicing. You're supposed to ask me that question.
oh, well, then tell me about your refrigerator, Sid.
Oh, it's silver. It's got two doors. The top and bottom. Freezer's on the bottom. It opens from the left towards the right. But I've had it 15 years.
Do you know why it's effective to have the freezer on the bottom?
No, that's why you get the big bucks. Tell me about it.
Because hot air rises, cold air sinks.
Well, that certainly makes sense.
That's my chemistry for the day.
Well, I'm going to hold up. Might be a little wobbly, but I did this morning. I'm going to hold up a little diagram, and you can kind of go over some of the components, what they mean. Does that sound
okay? So, like we were saying, you think in pictures, and when you ask somebody what the mind looks like, they can't tell you. So we have this little stick figure, and you have the mind, then you have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and then they put it all together with the mind, the subconscious mind, and the body. Well, the conscious mind is what we think is, I want to do this. I want to make this happen. And the subconscious mind says, no, this is what our reality is. The conscious mind can see and change and is always active in doing things. But the subconscious mind is where our reality comes from and how we can attract things to us and how we figure things out. And it controls our actions. For instance, so essentially you have belief on two levels. You have the educated mind, which is your conscious mind. And it's based on logic, what we can see, and the information we gather. And we have the belief on a very deep level or your subconscious level. And that belief controls our behaviors and is part of our paradigm. It's part of the reason, it's part of what we have to change in order to change our actions and our habits. And that's how this works. And the subconscious has to be changed, and you can only do that by actually believing consciously and believing with emotion. In other words, you can if you think you can, and you cannot if you think you cannot. And that's how this works. You see something, let's say, like I wanted to lose weight. Well, when you look in the mirror, you see something totally different as reality, and that's what your subconscious sees as your reality. How do you change that? You start picturing how you're going to look and go, ooh, I look good. Yeah, I can live with a six pack. And you start believing that, and you start telling your mind, this is where I'm at. Man, I am glad I'm here. And that's what this does. You take that conscious mind and you have to change the conflict it's having with the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind already has a reality set for you. So you've got to change that reality, which causes a conflict, which causes fear, and there's all kinds of other things that you have to overcome with that. But this is the basics on how it works. Would you agree with that?
Can I take my little chart down?
Well, I wanted to point at it, but I realized that really wouldn't make any sense. So
I would have to do this. Oh, yes. There's so much here. But when you mentioned the conscious mind, the information that's coming into our conscious mind is the five senses. What is it? Seeing, hearing, smelling,
seeing,
tasting.
Tasting,
Yeah,
smelling,
tasting.
and seeing, touching, tasting, scent. What is the fifth one?
Well, let's go this way. You're going to see, you're going to hear, you're going to taste, you're going to touch, smell.
Yep. Hearing, that's what I was missing because I can't hear anyway. So that's probably why.
Anyway, let me just finish that. So that's all the information we get is coming in from this outside. And that's what we grew up in. Let's say the human condition is reacting to everything that's outside of you. And what we're talking about, what we're teaching is, it's what's going on inside. And if everything that's coming in from the outside, if you're not paying attention, it goes right into your subconscious.
Yes, because it causes a feeling. That's all I wanted to say.
You're right. The feelings and emotions. Often the subconscious mind is actually the feelings, and the conscious mind we call them emotions. Or is it the opposite?
No. Your conscious mind is your logical mind, and your subconscious is your emotional mind, because it's the one that sees reality. And if you got your conscious mind believing that you're making $1 million a month, it's going to do everything in its power to attract $1 million a month to you, because that's what the reality is. And it needs to figure out. So that's why you start getting ideas. That's why you start getting, oh, if I do this, and I've learned to write those down, by the way, because sometimes those ideas are like, oh, yeah, what was that? So I keep a pen and a notepad all the time. I take it with me. So if something comes to me, I'll stop, I'll write it down, so at least I have it written down. And that's what a lot of creative people do too. They get ideas and they write them down. But it's also part of the reason I have a vision board too, because you can look at that vision board, and it's a visual aid, because we see in pictures, to help you visualize yourself in that position. So like if I want to look a certain way at 275, because I haven't seen that since high school, well, actually college, but that's still a long time ago. I think there was a song a long, long time ago. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. But you said something earlier, and you use the example, if you won $1 million. Mm-hmm. Well, the question is, well, what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Why do you want it? So now you're going to paint a picture or write out, these are things I'm going to do. This is how things are. And you write that down. Mm-hmm. And repetition is, I must say, one of the key ingredients of what we're teaching is
right.
The program is thinking in the results. You have to change your thinking to change your results. Or another expression is, if you want something you've never had before, you're going to have to do something you've never done before. And that's the paradigm is controlling the actions that we're taking. And one definition we use for the paradigm, it's a multitude of habits. They're in your subconscious. And you can only change those those habits or the actions you have to take to get the $1 million when you've got a plan is, I want to say reprogram. I could say trick the subconscious, but through repetition, we should just, you write it out, your plan, your goal, what it's going to look like, the vision, and twice a day, morning and night, in front of the mirror, you repeat it with emotions. And I use the expression to get emotionally involved, and that's what
I write them every day, also.
And that's what Napoleon Hill was teaching in 1937, that you have to bring emotion to what you want. And I use the expression to do your daily reciting of your goals with passion and unbridled enthusiasm.
And it helps. Yes, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
I was just going to say, I can't say that, and I've been saying it for 10 years. I can't say that without laughing or smiling, because unbridled enthusiasm makes me always picture instantly a young colt running across the pasture and just enjoying life and so happy. And there's no one to tell him what to do.
Exactly.
And so to bring that passion, because the emotions are in the paradigm.
And it helps, because I've also been reading The Science of Getting Rich.
Oh, yes.
Which this guy, he died in 1911, and he was 51 years old, wrote this book, and it says almost identical to what we've been talking about. But one of the things I've learned is it helps to try to do something that you're passionate about already. So, like voice acting, I do have my $1 million voice acting career written down, and I write it down every day. I say it. I also have it written down in front of my screen, just below here, where I keep those in a picture of my wife or my wife, but so like my $1 million reinforcement is I am a voice actor. I am a voice actor working regularly, netting over $1 million per year. My talents are used in commercials, children's cartoons, movies, audiobooks, which is great, and corporate training manuals.
Oh, I like that. It's interesting that you're saying that, because I think we talked about this the other day, and that is somebody else I was talking to. Some people react to seeing something. Mm-hmm. Other people are reacting to listening. I think is there a third way?
Writing.
And
if you're writing it, saying it and visualizing it, but it's something that's easy for me to visualize because it's something I enjoy doing. And now that everything's been fixed on my face, I can start getting back into practice and getting, because it's been difficult to do anything because I've been in so much pain that, it was difficult, but that's gone now, because I knew it would go away and that I could start this back up. So, but it's my positive reinforcement because it's something I'm passionate about. I do enjoy it, and it's nice to learn things. I think we talked a long time ago about the SpongeBob laugh that I used to do for my grandkids because I love SpongeBob. And once I figured out how to do the laugh, it's easy because it's just a matter of manipulating your voice cords. You just that's all it does.
You made me think of something, John. To find the book and read it, or do you just have to need a chapter 10 or 15 minutes as a sample?
Well, I've actually got a place I can do that, and it's older books. It's books that are in the public domain, and they did accept me, so I'm going to start reading those books once I get things back, because it does require a lot of concentration. But I'm going to be reading those because I can post them publicly and not have to worry about copyright strikes and that kind of thing, and use those as examples so people can hear what I'm capable of doing.
What I was thinking that you're monitoring new books when a new book comes out.
Mhm.
You read it. You read a chapter
Oh,
and send it in to the publisher.
that's an idea too. That's actually a good idea. Hold on, let me write that down.
But at the same time, I actually believe that on day one, people that they want to be on the bestseller list. I think possibly they may already be using. You can buy the book, or for 99 cents you get the audio or something like that. But it's something that you could explore.
Yeah, but see, I might be able to. And see, we just literally had a mastermind, people. That's what this is.
Oh. No, now I'm thinking about it.
Actually seek out publishers and say, hey, I'm a voice actor. I have my own studio. If there's a book that you think my voice would suit, or you would like me to read, I would be happy to read a chapter out of that for you to see if you would like to use my voice in the audio recording.
I'm going to take it in more specific. You find a book
Mhm.
that you want to read. Let's say that's your intro, and you contact whoever's the publisher who's
Mhm.
has that particular book. So it's already out there, and they're doing that with their clients. Maybe they got a stable of voice actors based on matching their voice, the best voice with that story, whatever it is, and you want to get in that rotation. Now I'm saying that because I don't know how they do that, but that sort of makes sense. But you can really get into that end of it, because that's where the business for you would come from.
And they also have the highest quality check too. So you have to be able to record very quietly. There can't be any ambient noise whatsoever. So it's very specific. But I do have all the software and stuff for that. So like I said, now that my jaw is actually starting to feel like a jaw again, and I can talk normally and manipulate my voice a little better, I'm going to start doing that again, because that's something I want to do. I think it would be fun. I do. I think it would be fun to read children's. I would love to have a villain part in a children's cartoon on a regular basis. I think that would be fantastic.
And that might start with reading children's books.
Absolutely.
So, because there's a big market for children's books.
There is.
I've seen some that have 20, 30, as a series of 20 or 30 books.
Mm-hmm. And they usually, have certain people do certain characters. And sometimes some people read the whole thing. I mean, I listen to audio books, and I've started looking for specific talent that's reading the book, because I like the way they do the characters. They bring them more to life to what I see them as, and it makes it easier to follow the book. Like I have the Wheel of Time series, which is a series of 17 books. I have all of those, and I like the way he reads. The way he reads, I can't think of his name right off the bat, but I like the way this guy reads it, because I know which character he is when he goes into each voice, so I can picture that character doing what I've already read through the physical series of it. And the same with R.A. Salvatore's. He's got several books from the Driz Doolin series that I like. And the guy that reads those books, I prefer listening to his voice. And so, because they give you the feeling that you want. And I want to be the person that the book company says, hey, we want your voice because it gives a specific feeling. Does that make sense?
Yes. But as you're talking, I'm also, my mind's thinking over here. And go online, go to Amazon for the Science of Getting Rich, the book that John was showing us, and that's by Wallace D. Wattles, Wattles. The Science of Getting Rich. Go online and see if if it's available audio. Then you talk to the publisher and send them a sample.
Yeah. And that would be a good book because I could read this book out loud and it wouldn't take more than an hour and a half. Only like 71 pages. And it's more of an instruction manual by the way it's written out. But there's a lot of feeling to it too. I've gone through and I highlight and make little notes. because I want to be able to go back and go, okay, why did I highlight? Oh, okay, that's why, because it's just one extra way of me learning and retaining it.
I want to go back for a bit. We're getting down a couple more minutes here. But we're talking about the conscious, subconscious. We got the body, we got an idea, and the subconscious, the emotions won't allow doing something new. But you're going to try it anyway, and you're able to break through the wall, the resistance of the subconscious. You take your action, and you don't get the results that you want. And that's another thing Bob's teaching is we grew up count to 10 before you say something. Well, if you don't get the results you want, and often people will repeat it because it worked last time. And I think the prevalent expression out there now is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, we're teaching you and thinking in results not to react to those results, but to respond by thinking about it. I like to say I turn sideways, get another perspective on what you just did. If it didn't work, then you've got another way to try it. Each time it doesn't work, you don't give up. It's another way that didn't work. And I got 2 minutes, but I'll say this real quickly. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times experiments before he created the incandescent light bulb. Right. And someone said, didn't you, how'd you feel failing 10,000 times? And he says, I didn't fail. I found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. And that's the quintessential story of persistence, going after something you want and keep trying different ways to get there. So John, it's not quite 29 minutes. So I want to thank you. Thank you for being on today and sharing your ideas. I always enjoy our conversations.
I do too.
This is 30 minutes, and we have hour-plus conversations.
At least once a week.
Because it's fun. Mm-hmm. And so I'll let you go. You may stay till the end. I'm not sure if you'll go back to the green room, but you can contact me at Sid Maestri, thinkingtheresults.com. I enjoy everybody that's here. We do this every Wednesday, 1:00 Pacific time, and we have a lot of fun, and we'd love you to join us and have fun too. So thank you, John, and I bid you adieu. Namaste.
Namaste.
And we consider I think I'm off. If not, see you next week.